wear your fucking masks. Given people still don't wear their fucking masks, absolute shit. We need government to step in. I didn't say that. Shut the fuck up. I've never said it.
She not a lesbian for peace, she turned lesbian, push P.
Most Americans are Democrats. All the states that have just wide swaths of empty land, those states tend to lean Republican. There's no people in those states. We had a popular vote instead of electoral college. Yep, absolutely. Popular vote. That is why Republicans will never support getting rid of the electoral college. They cannot win without the electoral college. They can't. It's just impossible for them to win without the electoral college. The most populated areas are Democrats? Yeah. Because it turns out when you live around other people, land does not vote. Like when people talk, like when someone like Van Jones or other Republicans, when they talk about, or whenever you see maps of, red states, the key thing to remember is land does not vote. It doesn't. Land does not vote. So when you see these, big swaths of red on election maps, it's misleading. There's no actual people in those vast swaths. There's a lot of people in the US. Yep, New York City has a population of 8 million people. But there are other places near. Here's the thing, Meg. Get rid of the Electoral College, and it means that Republicans would need to actually come up with policies that are popular. If you get rid of the Electoral College, if you do it by popular vote, then it means that Republicans are going to need to actually give a flying fuck, give a single wet hot shit about the opinions of other people. Right now, they don't. Like, Republicans could not care less what people on the left think. They don't. They don't care at all. They have absolutely no interest at all in any sort of cooperation, in any sort of compromise on anything, any issue. They will not compromise on any issue that actually matters. They don't care. They don't care what people in New York think. They hate New Yorkers. They have nothing but disdain for Californians. Republicans have nothing but contempt for people from New York City and from California. Just pure and simple contempt. No, it is hate. They have contempt for New Yorkers. They think of them as elitists and, they're not real Americans. Oh, they're not real Americans like the heartland. These are real Americans. Those aren't real Americans. It's contempt. They have contempt for New Yorkers. They hate New Yorkers. They don't give a shit what the people of New York think. And if you get rid of the Electoral College, it means that they'll need to actually give a shit what New Yorkers think. If you make it popular vote, then Republicans are going to need to change their policies to be popular. Because right now, they don't have popular policies. Republican policies are not actually popular. Pick an issue. Polls will consistently show that, if you pick any issue, or just about any issue, polls will show that Republicans are actually out of touch with what the majority of the population believes. You're right, I don't give a shit about the history. I give a shit about what fucking works. And the American political system doesn't fucking work. How did Trump win then? Not the popular vote. He didn't win the popular vote, Roxanne. He lost both times. Trump lost the popular vote because his views are not popular. Like, a lot of the shit that people vote for, they don't even support. My thing, Meg, is that it's irrelevant. Like, the history of those, like, the history, it's irrelevant. What matters is getting a system that actually fucking works. So you're saying that Republicans would go to war if they had to actually... What you're saying, Meg, is that Republicans would literally rather tear the country apart in war than actually listen to what New Yorkers say. And you think that's healthy? You think that's a good thing? That Republicans would actually rather a civil war over having to pay attention to New Yorkers? How is that in any way fucking sensible? How is that not fucking terrifying to you? How do you think that and go, yes, this is completely normal and good? How does that not fucking terrify you? That they would rather fucking murder people than actually fucking work with them, than try to change their fucking policies. Republicans would rather a war than fucking vote for universal health care. Republicans would rather a war than vote for universal health care. That is good? That's a normal fucking thing? Like, it's fucking terrifying, Meg. It's a terrifying concept that they would rather burn shit down than change their fucking opinions on anything. They would rather burn the country to the ground than change their opinions on a single fucking issue. And we're supposed to think that the Republicans are not evil? Like, we're supposed to think that the Republicans aren't the worst fucking thing in the country? That they're not a threat to democracy? The Republican Party is a threat to democracy. They hate democracy. They are opposed to actual legitimate democracy. The Republican Party is fascist. The Republican Party is a bunch of fascists. If Texas were to actually switch to a popular vote system, like if you got rid of gerrymandering, if Texas was actually popular vote, it would be a Democratic state. It would be a primarily Democratic state. Because it turns out, even in Texas, the actual majority is Democratic. Republicans are masters at gerrymandering. And honestly, gerrymandering is the most anti-democratic thing possible. Gerrymandering is an absolute assault on democracy. There have been states where Democrats have tried to get rid of gerrymandering. They both do. So get rid of it. Except, again, the Republicans are better at it.
I'm so fresh, you can suck my nuts. I'm so fresh, you can suck my nuts. Swag. I'm so fresh, you can suck my nuts. I'm so fresh, you can suck my nuts.